And in the cabinet reshuffle today, there's been a record number of portfolios shifted. Let's take you first very quickly through some of the big major changes. First, we had Praful Patel. Praful Patel was elevated to cabinet rank. He moved from civil aviation, however, to heavy industry. Civil aviation will now be handled by Vayala Ravi. Murli Deora, that was the other big change. Murli Deora has been moved out from oil and petroleum. He will now be the Minister for Corporate Affairs. Kamal Nath has been moved out of surface transport to urban development. That's another big change. And then you have Jaypal Reddy. Jaypal Reddy used to be the Urban Development Minister. Instead, he will now be handling Murli Deora's erstwhile portfolio, which is oil and petroleum. All right, Salman Khurshid, he's been elevated to cabinet rank as well. He's been moved to from corporate affairs to water resources. He's also continued to hold additional charge of minority affairs. Vayala Ravi, as we mentioned, will get additional charge of civil aviation. CP Joshi has been moved out of rural development and Panchayati Raj to surface transport and highways. And Vilasrao Deshmukh, who used to be in heavy industries, now Praful Patel's industry, instead will be the Rural Development Minister. E. Ahmed, a Minister of States in Railways, has come back to a job he used to occupy in UPA 1. He's returned as MOS External Affairs in the MEA. All right, and also just to take you through the people who have had no changes, but this is significant. Kapil Sibal has retained both human resource development and telecom. Jairam Ramesh, there's been no change in his rank or portfolio. He continues to be Minister of State in the Environment Ministry. And Veerappa Moily, there were a number of rumours that he could be shifted out. He has retained law. So this is important because the Telecom Ministry was under great attention. Sibal continues to be in both HRD and Telecom. Before we come to our panel, let's quickly get a perspective from my colleagues on the ground who've been tracking the story all day. Sunil Prabhu, to you first. You were covering the swearing in. The Prime Minister spoke briefly with journalists on the sidelines. What did he say about this reshuffle?
Well, Barka, he had two important points. One is that this is a minor reshuffle and that a major exercise is expected after the budget session. Clearly a carrot and stick approach that the Congress leadership has always held during cabinet expansions to give the aspirations of the youngsters who haven't been able to make it this time round, or those who are upset, that there's always another opportunity, as well as a message to those who have been shifted to really perform operesh. Of course, the other point and most important is about ensuring that Parliament resumes its business, and he doesn't want to see a repeat of the winter session, and that he said that a JPC is a matter of concern in the sense that he would like to see it happen, and we are ready for Parliament to function. Whatever needs to be done can be done on the floor of the House, but not committing to a JPC. So clearly these aspects uppermost in the Prime Minister's mind, and clearly he felt extremely relieved now that he's been able to undertake this exercise, which really took him and the Congress President 11 long days.
Right, 11 long days, many portfolio swaps, but has the cabinet reshuffle missed a larger message? That'll be our debate tonight. But Rahul Srivastav, some of the key ministers who've been moved around, Kamal Nath, Murli Deora, among them really grabbing headlines. You've been tracking Kamal Nath all day. What's the word from him?
Barka, one very straight thing which is emerging from sources close to Mr. Kamal Nath is that perhaps it's a signal to him that there was a bit of a tag of a non-performing ministry, primarily because the Prime Minister expected one infrastructure sector, that is road building, was high on the agenda of the government. That did not happen. 20 kilometers a day always remained a dream for this government. And perhaps this is a signal to Mr. Kamal Nath that you are being given another opportunity. As Sunil was saying, that this is another opportunity to be given to people like Kamal Nath to perform. Also, it's a blessing in disguise because Surface Transport Ministry was a troublesome ministry. All the mess which was created during the last regime of the UPA, Mr. Kamal Nath inherited it and perhaps has not been able to remove the cobwebs. And that is why the failure to deliver has actually stood against him. Perhaps it's an opportunity. It's a key ministry, urban development. There are tremendous amount of funds under the Jawaharlal Nehru Renewal Mission. And that is why we don't perceive a sense of sulk emerging from Kamal Nath camp as far as the change in portfolio is concerned. But yes, another signal which is emerging from there is that perhaps also it's an opportunity for Mr. Kamal Nath, because he has not been undermined as far as his reshuffle is concerned. Also because Arjun Singh is out as far as active politics is concerned. In Madhya Pradesh, Mr. Digvijay Singh is largely going to play a central role, and that's why Kamal Nath remains an important Madhya Pradesh leader. And perhaps all these signals can be put together and say that Kamal Nath doesn't have a lot of reasons to complain.